FMS is quite famous about very short interviews. So I also had an interview of about 10 to 12 minutes only.
Hello everyone, welcome to CATKing. I'm K, and today we have Sagar with us, who is from FMS. And so today this video is all about his interview experience, how his interview was. So Sagar, how are you doing?
I'm good, Achal. How are you?
I'm good too. So you are in first year right now. So how is your MBA going on?
MBA is kind of a different experience from a UG actually. You think that you will go and you'll study, but it is a lot of things that you did not expect, and then it comes your way, and then you learn to tackle it. So MBA experience is really good till now.
Awesome. So let's just start with the video. Can you just tell us about your FMS interview experience first?
Okay. Sorry. So talking about FMS is quite famous about very short interviews. So I also had an interview of about 10 to 12 minutes only. So the interview started with my SOP. So basically they took up my SOP. My SOP was really bad since I was not a person who was good in reading and writing. So I remember I wrote my SOP sitting on my shop in 5 minutes. I did not put any efforts in it. So as a result, the SOP was really bad. So they started with that itself. So they asked basic questions about, I mentioned about civil engineering and then systematic approach and all. And then they gave me some basic questions to check my knowledge of civil engineering since I mentioned it over there. I think I tackled it pretty well. And then moving ahead, they asked me general questions about myself and all the HR questions that they generally ask, introduction, and then one or two follow-up questions. Post that, they gave me an example topic as, let me think. Yeah, little things matter more in life than bigger things. Okay. So they gave me a standard 30 seconds to think about it. And then post that, I spoke about it for a minute, and then I tried adding a poem to it as well. But since the time was over, I could not do it. So I think extempore as well, I did pretty well. And yeah, that's where my interview ended. The 10 minutes flew by. I prepared for it hard for a month, and then it just came down to those 10 minutes. So yeah, it was quite
But were they grilling you, on basis of your SOP?
Yeah, for SOP, I think like I had two panelists. So one was pretty chill. He told me how the interview will go and all. But the other panelist, she was kind of grilling me on my SOP because it was not at all well written. So yeah, but the grilling part was just on SOP. Apart from it, it all went very smooth.
Okay, so did you have domain-based questions?
No, not any domain-based questions.
Achha. So any GK questions or current affairs?
No. They like if they have to check your GK, they'll give you extempore topic based on the GK. If they don't feel like, they'll not give you any sort of question on that. Because the interview is very short, 10 to 12 minutes. So they have very limited things to check out. So they cannot go into each and everything.
Okay, right. What tips and motivation that you have for the students who are appearing for the interview this year?
Okay. So I'll first say is that your preparation is not about how much can you learn or how much can you mug up or go at. It is more about what your habits are actually, how you are understanding yourself through your habits. So when I started, I was not aware that where my strengths are, where my weaknesses are. So my preparation was very haphazard. But as soon as I got the feedback from the mentors or from the people that I was interacting with, I knew that I had to work on the things that I'm really weak at. And then once I sort them out, once they are at a good basic level, I can play on my strengths. Unless and until your weaknesses are not sorted out, anyone can hit you on your weak spot and then they can break you easily. But if you can strengthen your weaknesses to a certain extent that you are not breakable, then there's the time to play on your strengths. So that's how I used to follow. So as I already mentioned, that first thing in the morning was I will tackle my weakness. That was reading and GK. So that's how I started reading newspaper and all in the first thing in the morning. But and then I moved ahead, and then my day would progress like then I will work on this HR answers. I'll write them down. Writing the answers is something that will help you in the longer run. It is not just that it will help you cracking a single interview. In each and every interview, you can go back and refer to your answers, modify the answers according to the college or the interview panel that you think if you know, and post that also in an MBA college. If you when you sit for summer interviews, it is just a period of 3 months, and then you get to sit for summer interviews. So the companies also know that you do not have any knowledge about MBA or the subject. They'll ask you HR questions mostly. 80-85% of the questions will be HR questions. So those written answers will help you again in your summer interviews when you sit in an MBA college and summer interviews. So writing the answers is something that I found was very helpful. Yeah, I know writing answers is a cumbersome process. You have to give a lot of time to write an answer, but it will help you in the longer run. And as in when you start getting better at writing answers, so then what I used to follow was I'll just write down the brief pointers that this is the 1 point, this is second point, this is third point. So for every answer for introduction, I'll write 8 points. These are the 8 points that I want to mention. But then I'll have those 8 points in the mind, but I'll construct the sentences on the point on while giving the answers, because then it will not look mechanical as well that I have mugged up each and every point, but I will make sure that I am mentioning each and every point as well. So it will look more natural. So writing answers is also one more thing. And for a third thing that I would say is if you are in right habits, if you are following your routines, then you will be self-motivated. But once you start ditching your habits, you go into a negative feedback loop. That is a rabbit hole. You'll go down and down and down. So avoid that. Find a trigger where if you are going down a rabbit hole, and then how you can come back. So for me, the trigger was classes. If I'm attending classes regularly, I'll make sure that I'm following my routine. If I missed the classes for 3 days in a row, then I was sure that I'm not going in the correct direction. So find your trigger. How can you make sure that once you're going down, how to get you back up? So that is also important.
All right. Thank you so much, Sagar, for coming in and giving the detailed, informative information to us. If you have any questions regarding this, do let us know in the comments down below, and do like and share this video. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Achal, for calling me here.